Can you spot the difference between these two groups of people?
Life Alert Security Center, Mrs.
I've
Jones.
fallen down the stairs. I need help.
The ambulance is on its way.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
As you probably noticed, there are some outliers in terms of strength and performance relative to other people their age. And that's not only because of their impressive physical feats, it's also by virtue of exercising at all. Around 31 million adult Americans don't have any sort of exercise within their daily routine. And what that normally looks like is spending around 9.5 hours every day sitting on screens. This sort of lifestyle can lead to a loss of general physical strength, weight gain, and an increased risk of injury. Now, the fact of life is that you, yes, you, will get older and there's nothing you can really do about it, and it will have consequences on your body. Luckily, there are things you can do to help manage and improve your health, and one of them is heavy resistance training. It's one of the best ways to directly combat the side effects of aging in a preventative and rehabilitation manner. Resistance training is a form of exercise where one is working against an external force, such as a resistance band, a set of weights, or even your own body weight. Heavy resistance training, for the purposes of this video, is someone who performs any lift with greater than or equal to 80% of their 1 repetition maximum of the exercise. This would usually translate to a weight heavy enough so that only roughly 8 repetitions could be performed, given effort is as high as possible. Firstly, I'd like to highlight the most superficial and easiest to understand benefit of heavy resistance training. It'll get you jacked! Heavy resistance training is very efficient at the development of skeletal muscle tissue, a process called hypertrophy. The addition of muscle tissue increases metabolism, which can help with weight management and energy levels. It also increases insulin sensitivity, which helps with regulating blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels, and mitigates the risk of type 2 diabetes. An increase in muscle tissue will also make you stronger, which will help everyday tasks get easier, such as carrying grocery bags, standing up out of a chair, and getting out of bed. Another benefit of heavy resistance training is increased bone health and composition. An article from a university in Finland observed growth of bone mineral content and bone mineral density after periods of resistance training, and posited that bone structure may adapt as well, becoming architecturally stronger and more supportive. This also just generally makes sense. It is reasonable to believe that being able to progress your squat from 200 pounds to 600 would result in an increase in bone strength and structure. These benefits translate over to joints, ligaments, and tendons as well. Now, why is this relevant to you? Why should you care? Well, it'll not only help your quality of life, but your long-term durability as well. Falls are the #1 cause of injury-related deaths in individuals over the age of 65. Heavy resistance training is a proven way to improve and maintain healthy levels of bone density, to stop falls and accidents from becoming hospitalizations and surgeries. This is especially true for women. After menopause, the decline of bone integrity increases drastically. In the first 5 years after menopause, women will lose around 20% of their bone density, and 1 in 2 women over 50 will experience an osteoporosis-related bone fracture. Now, this is just personal experience from what I've seen on the internet and heard in person, but it seems there are some women and slimy, smelly dudes who think women shouldn't work out because it isn't feminine or will make you look like a man. Well, here's my mom deadlifting 340 pounds, hitting a muscle up, and hitting some handstand push-ups. Trust me, anyone who says that sort of thing is probably a loser and not worth listening to. The best thing about lifting is its accessibility. The only barrier to entry is having functional muscles. Now, the term heavy resistance training might seem daunting to some who are inexperienced or who have pre-existing conditions or injuries. But the fact of the matter is, as long as you are using loads that are relatively heavy to you, it's a safe practice to engage in. I interviewed my former powerlifting coach Gary Riker about this subject and asked what were some ways that people could still participate in resistance training if they have time constraints or pre-existing ailments. He said, the great thing about any type of fitness is it is based on overload and adaptation. Beginners do not need to do a lot, just more than they are accustomed to doing. A basic introductory strength program can be 20 to 30 minutes twice a week. Pre-existing injuries depend on the specific injury. Consult a doctor, but with proper exercise prescription, there is always a way. It's important to remember you don't have to be a 240-pound, morbidly obese, tweaked-out, chalk-sniffing psycho to get started. You just have to do more than you are doing now.